Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Novocaine. Alright, so Novocaine is the second romantic comedy having a lot of violence, starring Jack Quaid in a leading role from 2025, and I have to say this one was actually really pretty funny. I had to say I didn't like Companion as much as I wanted to, and the same with this movie, I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. And I have to say, I really did like this movie. I liked a lot of this movie, but I have some small problems with it. First problem being that for me personally, it's a tad bit too long. It goes on for a nice long runtime, and then they do the fake ending with the second ending coming later, and it's just a bit too long. If it ended with the first ending, and if they changed the first ending to the second ending, it would have been a perfect 90-minute movie that I really adored. Right now, it's like a 1 hour and 50-minute movie. It's just a tad bit too long for a concept like this. It could be a little bit shorter, and it will be very good. Novocaine is a story about Nathan Kane, who has SIPA, and it's a real condition where you don't actually feel pain but still can die. It's a really fun concept. I have heard of it before. I have heard of the condition before, and I had to say, like, making a movie like this with that concept, with that disease, is actually pretty funny. It could give you some really fun scenes, and it absolutely delivered on those parts. Like the bloody things and the violence in this movie is top notch. There is a fight scene in a kitchen that I loved so much. I laughed my ass off with it. It was actually really damn funny. There's also a romantic side of this movie, a romantic story, which I didn't completely buy. The chemistry between the two is definitely there. It's not on Jacob Batalon and Jack Quaid level, but it's still on a good level. Amber Midthunder did a very decent job at the girl, and I wanted to say Nathan Kane, but Jack Quaid did a perfect job as our lead character. He conveys that awkwardness of the relationship very well, but there is and it's gonna be weird to say, but there's a little bit too much story in my violence, no pain movie. And I do like a good story, and we have examples of movies where the story of a concept like this is actually really fucking good, and it makes the movie all the better. But a movie like this can also be perfectly fine with a bullshit, predictable story that everyone will know from seasons and miles away what's going to happen. But it can still be a really fun time because the kills are this incredibly great. With this movie, they also tried to have that story, and they tried to focus a little too hard on the story in some parts, adding some twists and teases that we all saw coming from a mile away, but weren't justified enough to make it feel right, especially with the villain. The villain, the main bad guy, is like very cliche, also very annoying, is like the least interesting character of the movie. And he has a relationship status thing with the girl from the movie and with other people in the movie, and there are some twists and teases that do not work as well as I wanted to. And that's the main thing with the movie that doesn't work for me. But the violence and the comedic scenes make up all of it, because they are just incredibly fun to watch. There's this house that is booby-trapped. Nobody knows why, but they make jokes about it, so then they can do it, and it is justified because they joke about it. So they know it's stupid, but it's there, and the only reason for it to be there is to put this guy through so much more pain he actually would be in that he now is not, because he can't feel pain, and it gives you some fun comedic scenes. Perfectly fine with that, perfectly justified. Make a joke about it, and it's okay. But there's just, with it being a little bit too long, and some of the story elements that didn't completely work for me. But the violence and the comedic parts and the comedic timing of Jack Quaid and the absolute adorable chemistry of Jacob Batalon and Jack Quaid, I wanted to say Nathan Kane again, made this movie all the better than it actually was in some moments. It's a really fun time at the movie theaters. If you are bored, please go watch this movie. It's really, really funny. It has some decent things happening in it, and it's just a pretty damn interesting, fun, nice evening flick. It's a weekend movie. It's not the serious movie. You just go enjoy it on a Friday night, something like that. I'm gonna give this movie 3.5 stars and a heart because it did win me over in the end, and I'll want to know your reaction to this movie. How did you like it? Please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.